Hi everyone, so today we're in Mount Olympus. We're gonna check out my buddy Max's new flip property. Hey Max, how's it going, man?
Good, man, thanks for coming.
So tell us what's happening here.
It's a 3,600 square foot modern remodel in Mount Olympus. Why don't you guys come and take a look?
Give us your game plan here. I mean, I see your texture stucco. I see these staircase, garage door. What do you kind of have going on to kind of uplift this?
So we're going to get rid of this guardrail. I'm going to do floating concrete steps with vines coming out underneath the steps.
Okay.
It's going to be a very natural, sort of organic feel. We're going to do a big pivot door in the front here. That will be some sort of stained wood to match my other trim that's around the rest of the house. We're going to do an all black, seamless, mirrored garage door. That will,
hide the modern look.
Exactly. So the idea with the entryway is to remove the staircase and do a floating stair system here to make this feel a
much more open.
Yeah. The first area that you see is the dining area, the light fixture. There's going to be a wine cellar on this wall.
Gotcha.
Kind of add to some of the flair. We're considering either a wine cellar or a fireplace. I don't know which I'm going to do. Okay, so with the ceiling re-engineered, we're able to open up this wall here, add more space downstairs. We'll have our cabinet wall, floor to ceiling over here. I'm going to do 2 kitchen islands.
Gotcha.
Instead of a sort of traditional counter setup, it's more of a true chef's kitchen. You'll have your appliances in the islands.
Gotcha.
They'll be directed this way, so when your new opening for the pool is set up at the door,
you're facing your living room.
Exactly, you're facing your living room, you're looking out at the pool. This room back here is going to be a movie theater off of the kitchen with 2 pocket doors, 2 rows of seats, 12 people total. Blackout curtain, my sort of trademark neon light setup that I
Mention us that a little bit.
So in the last house I did with one of my business partners, Andrew White, we did a nightclub. It was like a 1,600 square foot nightclub with a theater in it and a sitting area, a bar. So I was trying to do something that was sort of an X factor for this place, but needed to
also carried your style a little bit, your personal touch to your own projects.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. One of the biggest issues here getting rid of downstairs, this fireplace here really ate into the living room.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys can see the layout on the bottom where tile starts. Basically, that was old fireplace. It took a huge amount of space, I can tell.
It did. So that prevented them from making this door any bigger.
And also possibly pocketing it in.
Correct. You can pocket it. You can do a number of things.
Gotcha.
Obviously, that weren't implemented in 1978, but they did use steel beams here, so that made it a lot easier for us to mess with the opening size.
Gotcha. And then I can see the steel beam over there. Let's go take a look at it. Basically, you're counting on that to hold your weight up of the second roof. Second floor, so you can just put all your pocket doors here.
And this is a load-bearing wall, so that's why they did the beam. So the floor above it can be supported. This whole house is joisted from this end to this end. So
gotcha.
The beams are going this way throughout the whole house.
So here we are on the back side of the property. I see a mountainside, hillside. I see a retaining wall. What's happening here?
So one of the concerns when I first walked the property was the flat space. So the last project I did, which is about a block away from here, was a hillside property.
Okay.
And we had a different set of issues there. The issue here was making the existing flat space feel large.
And as usable as possible.
As usable as possible. So we had this pool equipment that was over here that just made no sense. It ate into all of this great space.
And made that space kind of ugly.
And it made it ugly, yeah. So instead of making that an eyesore, we're gonna turn it into a seating area, and we're gonna have sort of a service window when you're having dinner parties or
you have people over here that overflows to here. You can still utilize the space.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Still utilize the space, and we'll do a combination of turf over there for people with dogs at the far end.
Okay.
Really cool landscaping along this edge here, and then the seating area sort of centered back here. With a water feature that comes over the wall.
So you're gonna do a water feature here as well.
I'm gonna do a water feature right here. It's gonna pour. We actually got the idea from the existing house. Sometimes these houses give you ideas, but this water overflowed and returned into the rocks.
And there's probably internal drain somewhere in there.
So we're just gonna build off that idea and do something coming over and down.
Definitely.
So when this is open and people walk in the front door, they see water, they hear,
Absolutely. I mean, you guys can see, you can just walk from your front door. If this is all open, first thing you're going to see is the waterfall.
Yeah. And this will be slightly bigger. It'll be about 6 inches on each side, wider, and 4 inches taller, this door. So you'll be able to see out here pretty nice. We had to actually, there's a hillside ordinance that's in Hollywood Hills. It might be all hillside properties in Los Angeles, but you can't allow your brush to grow in over 6 inches. So one of the first things we had to do here to fall within compliance was getting rid of all the excess and overgrown brush. You know, it's a fire hazard.
I can just kind of see the roots and everything, like how much you guys had to go through.
Oh my gosh, it was insane. It was 3 full-size big rig trailers filled with trees
and how did you guys clean all that brush? You just had people up there?
Yeah, we had a crew of like 6 guys clean everything out, and you know, we're also toying around with the idea of doing a view deck up there on the other end where you can see the canyon and doing like a fire pit or something.
That sounds really cool.
I'm gonna see how difficult it'll be with permitting.
Fair enough. And let me ask you this. I know like there's basically 2 ways of like going through a flipping of a property. Some people literally design everything from get-go and they just stick to the game plan.
Sure.
That's kind of how I worked in the past. But I know some people literally design it as they go. Takes a little longer, but they feel like it's perfect to their taste and they make much calculated, thought-through decisions because they're kind of going with the flow.
Right.
Where you stand on that line?
Well, I think you need to have 2 columns. You need to have a needs column and a wants column.
Okay.
So what do we absolutely need to get this sale price that we think that we're going to get?
Gotcha.
So you got to reverse engineer every project. So you start with what your exit's going to be or what it could be.
Almost like your utility needs that you have to put in this space.
Correct. And sometimes, even though maybe you could get some crazy bigger number, sometimes it makes more sense to, you know, do less of a remodel. If it's going to be less carrying costs, you'll get it done quicker.
Less stress on you, less of a project, absolutely.
Not every project has to be a architectural design showcase. You know, if you do this for a living, if you're doing it for a hobby, do it how you want. But
exactly. If you're doing this for a living, you got to pick your battles, and certain houses don't need to be the showcasing houses.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Or, you know, hedge your projects, do a couple easy ones while you're doing one that's crazy. So if something happens, those will sell and you'll be liquid again and you don't have to worry about, you know, being on the market, you know, things like that.
All right, Max, so we're literally inside the pool. Tell us what's happening here. I see a lot of curves. I see the house. I see a little bit of deck over there. Tell us kind of what your vision is for this space.
So, I mean, you know, this is kind of one of your standard 1970s, you know, bean, amoeba shaped pools, which was cool back then, but it's, you know, back to the strategy for remodeling, you know, you want people to feel like it's a new home when they move in. So when you leave major portions of what people can see, what, you know,
or the old detail of the home,
exactly,
it kills the vibe of the home.
And you have to identify what those things are. Why does this place feel like it's from the 70s?
Gotcha.
Well, you walk in and there's soffits in the ceiling and everything feels tiny and the pool's a bean shape. So we addressed that. We opened it up. We're reshaping the lines of the pool to be rectangular.
Basically, as a developer, your job is to make people realize that this is not an old home.
Correct.
That's the last thing you want them to think. You just want them to feel like this is all new now.
Yes, correct.
This is a different
You have to touch every surface.
Absolutely.
So in a normal flip budget, right, you're focusing on major things and you're painting over everything else.
Exactly.
With this, you know, when you're doing the walkthrough with this potential buyer, you know, who's going to be paying in the $3 million range, you know, you have to go and look at everything else on the market he's going to be looking at.
Absolutely.
So, you know, and identify, okay, what do these places have? If we can beat them in every category, sometimes it's $20,000, $30,000 more in a $400,000 budget to get that extra, you know.
Well, I mean, like you said, you touched into a really good subject. If you look at your competition, do everything they do and a little bit more, and don't miss these elements. Like you said, it doesn't kill your budget, but they come in, they're like, okay, this one is complete all the way. They did not miss on their pool, they fixed their patio, everything. So I absolutely agree with that point.
Yeah, 100%. So, you know, and one of those identifying factors was the shape of the pool. And, you know, like I was saying, in previous properties that didn't have pools, you're trying to get high 2s, 3s, almost every comp they're going to be looking at is going to have a pool. You get into this price range, it's very rare in the 3s to find something that doesn't have a pool.
And I mean, we're in LA.
Yeah,
This is like your best city to literally have a pool. You can use it all year round.
Yeah.
So it's a tough competition to beat if you don't have one.
Sure. Yes, absolutely. That's a big thing. And you learn through trial and error. You know, you sit as a fly on a wall in these open houses. People come in and you hear what they're saying. Some people don't like to hear it, but I think it's crucial to know what the public perception is. So
cool. So tell us a little bit more how you're going to utilize this existing layout without breaking the budget,
Sure.
and still kind of combine this house, this pool, and flow it with the house.
Sure. So one of the things we had working for us that the existing setback from the pool was very close to the living room. So we wanted to not, steer away from that. We wanted to sort of embrace that. So we're keeping this edge pretty close to where it is. This door being larger will be able to open into a pocket, and you'll be able to be sitting in the living room and hear this water feature coming down, and sort of feel that indoor-outdoor sort of Bali type vibe that we're trying to do. The space over here along this wall will be bumped out and will be turned into a tanning deck area right here,
Very nice.
which gets the most sunlight throughout the day year-round in this particular part.
And that's like really, those are kind of things that showcases developers, because if you're thinking as little of a detail like that, that just shows that like how much you're looking through every detail, making sure everything is on point.
Sure.
That detail you just said, you have the same rock that you have on your pool, on your corner pillars, and maybe somewhere else in the house. That just shows it wasn't like you looked at the pool, you remodeled it, you looked at the house, you remodeled it.
Sure.
You've thought through your entire plan, and you uniformed it, which is one of the crucial points on a good flip.
Sure, absolutely. And just like you have to anticipate overspending, you also have to anticipate, hey, if there's 20 or 30K left in the budget, where does it go?
Exactly.
You have that money borrowed on your construction loan, you're better off using it.
Getting the best out of it.
And improving, yeah.
Absolutely.
Beating that competition, yeah. So this is another big selling point, right? Is that people love a big master bedroom. The entrance to the master bedroom currently is at the end of the hallway. We're gonna bring the entrance up to this area here, which will allow the suite to feel,
much more special and grand.
Sure. So
Gotcha.
this space, which is located directly above the movie theater downstairs, will become an ensuite yoga room, healing, meditation. We're gonna have a really cool lighting scheme in here. Have a little drink bar over there. You can make your smoothie in the morning or whatever you want to do.
Your espresso.
Before you go down and deal with the kids.
And then we continue with the rest of the master.
So this threshold will be just open here. This won't be cased in like a doorway.
Gotcha.
As you can see, again, our chimney and fireplace continues upstairs. We removed this as well. There's two ideas we have. One of them is to do a floating fireplace in the corner, which would allow us to continue to open this window and this doorway up,
But still keep
but
that
still have the
feature.
fireplace, right?
Gotcha.
Or secondary option would be to bump this wall out here and do an in-wall fireplace in this wall here and give this some character instead of just being a wall.
Gotcha.
And then you could really push those windows out in the corner, so.
And what are you thinking with your balcony approach?
So the balcony, this is probably one of the best features, certainly of the master, definitely of the house. You have some nice space out here. You have
With an interesting tile choice.
Yeah, interesting tile choice. So we'll get rid of this and lighten this load up a little bit on these joists. We'll probably do some sort of just a decking material.
Just to keep it light.
And waterproof, yeah.
Gotcha. And then I'm assuming you're gonna do some sort of a glass railing here to kind of match
To
the
match, exactly, spot on, spot on. So this will be a glass railing with a top rail that goes around the edge. Doing recessed lighting out here, speaker system for the whole home audio.
Gotcha.
So you'll feel like a king in this master. I think we have it clocked in at about 1,500 square feet. So.
I mean, I just look at it, I know what you're gonna do. This space feels so open and huge. All I see is bathroom. All right, so I'm assuming we're walking into the master bathroom. Yes. I mean, this space is huge. I see plumbing lines, sure. I see new ABS. I know sure. You're modifying the layout. Sure. So what is happening here? What kind of a vision you have?
So, essentially sort of the new type of master bathroom closet is more of an open floor plan design. Mm-hmm. So you have transparency from the bedroom to the bathroom to the closet. So it means two things. First of all, you have to appoint this and finish this out nice enough to be seen.
Absolutely.
From the bedroom. You want it to add to what's going on. So,
you don't want your cabinetry to look kind of half done because correct. It's going to be all exposed.
Sure, it's going to be all exposed. So, here and this edge here wrapping around these walls up to here will be cabinets floor to ceiling, storage for his and hers, shoe racks, all LED underlit that will match my cabinetry on my vanities.
Beautiful.
We're going with a gray tile floor
Nice. More of like the slate look you're
More
going
of a slate look, yeah.
Gotcha.
We're going to do a standalone stone tub over here, which will also be gray, a different, slightly different shade.
Okay.
You'll have this window will be expanded, so you'll have lots of daylight coming in while you're sitting in the tub. You'll be able to look up at the landscaping on the hillside.
And again, all private.
Exactly, very private feeling. You have this great natural light coming in through the ceiling here.
Yeah.
This was actually a hallway that ran this whole length here. And you had your closet here, and you had a bathroom, 2 full-size bathrooms, one here and one there.
It's
very
probably
strange,
old bug stuff, very strange.
very tight, very claustrophobic feeling. So
Gotcha.
yeah, that's basically the design, and you know, glass shower in the corner. And
Are you going with any kind of a rain head, spray?
I'm
What do you kind of have?
I'm gonna do a rain head and an accessory coming off the wall.
Gotcha. And I'm assuming you have a tub somewhere around here, correct? Centering
Correct.
the roof.
So this fitting right here, this junction is where the drain will be for the tub.
Perfect.
So it'll come off the wall about 24 inches.
Are you doing freestanding tub?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a freestanding tub on a slightly elevated 2-step raised platform that's going to be made out of marble.
Nice, to kind of showcase the tub a little
to showcase
bit.
the tub, and we'll probably underlight those steps as well leading up to the tub.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And are you going with some unique design, or it's just going to be more of that modern, clean look that most people will expect?
yeah, I mean, I think so. If you're using the word unique, I think something that's certainly unique is finding these features in a home at this price. You know, we just did a big open house tour of the Bird Streets and some of these areas that are getting 15, 16 million. And, you know, our master bedroom size, the suite size, the features of just the master specifically are on par with some of those houses. So.
Beautiful. That actually helps you justify your price so much.
Absolutely.
Because you can literally say people, hey, I'm giving you the same value, it just happens to be in a little bit smaller lot, smaller square footage, but once you're in the space and once you use the space, it's just like a $50 million home.
Absolutely. It's a mini version of it. And again, you know, I think the term McMansion sort of got thrown around when there was a lot of these just white boxes going up where they were trying to max out the square footage. But I think this house has character on the outside enough for it to not just be a uniform. It has detail. It, you know, the footprint changes around the house. It's not all, you know, a mirrored image of itself. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think it has that.
And I mean, we see a lot of these 8, 9, 10,000 square foot homes. You go into these space, it really doesn't make you know, sense after a point. They're just so oversized. Like we talked about, if you have your 4 bedrooms, if you have a huge master, you have your outdoor space, I mean, that's kind of all you need. After that is all extra. So if you hit those main points, you're good to go.
Sure. Remember, the person who's paying for the house lives in the master. So always remember that.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So when do you think you're going to be able to wrap up the whole project and be able to put this on the market?
We'll be finished in about 4 months from now.
Okay.
So October we'll be listing with Compass.
Cool. Cool. And would we be allowed to come back in here again, because I would love to see this thing?
Of course, anytime you guys can come back.
Awesome.
Sure.
Thank you so much for letting us in, man. I really appreciate
Yeah.
it. And guys, make sure to follow Max on his account, which we will tag below. And if you have any questions for Max or myself, please let us know in the comment section below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel.